Game number one, ladies and gentlemen. Ukraine against Germany. Quarterfinal number 2 is about to start. Infernal Shrines. We already had our first quarterfinal. I'm not going to spoil the results here, but France versus UK. Well, didn't quite end the way that I expected it to. Now heading into this match where we are seeing the Ukraine, or where we see Ukraine, who took the second place in their group behind Russia, goes up against the first of one of the other groups, Germany. And the entire time Germany gets a ban against them against Sergeant Hammer. We all know Germans are pretty good with tanks, but this ban in particular happens because of a single game that was played in the group stage on Battlefield of Eternity, where I think it was Blank back then played Hammer, and ever since then all of the teams were just like, nope, not happening. Keine Panzer für die Deutschen. I think Blank is going to be a little pissed about that. But it's a decent pick, and also, in this case now we have Infernal Shrines, and therefore a ban on Abathur even. Arthas gets banned out, and so does Maiev. Keep in mind that with this being the quarterfinals, there's a lot of content out from all of the teams, so everybody's just looking at drafts, is looking at how did they play in the previous matches, and trying to figure out what do we have to ban against them. So there's going to be a lot of counter bans happening throughout the entire bracket stage right now. Tyrande has an early pick on Infernal Shrines, and we have also Malfurion plus Reyna. So both of them taking here early on. I like Reyna a lot for the sustainable damage. It's actually awesome because Jimmy is just fantastic in that role. It's one of the reasons why around BlizzCon he's been continuously picked. But of course there were a lot of other options for them early on here. Tyrande, Hanzo and Diablo. Ukraine is starting with a pretty good lineup, to be honest with you. I'm liking this. They have Tyrande and Diablo as a combo, and Hanzo for the Shrine Clear, and also for the follow-up with an arrow. That's a really good start for Ukraine. I'm liking that setup quite a bit. Germany has to make sure that they're finding the synergy in their third and fourth pick. Malfurion and Reyna are by no means bad, but you just need to find a bit more synergy here to really make that work. I mean, the roots alone can really just limit the access points towards the shrines and can split that a bit. But what's going to happen on the tank side? Keep in mind, we had actually Stitches played a couple of times by Germany on this map with great success. Laranas and Phil together, that was an insane match that they played there. But can they repeat that? And are they going to try to? That's the next question. They could still pick Stitches if they wanted to, but let's keep in mind there's more heroes out there that would really work well on Infernal Shrines, Johanna being one of them. There's the Rat again. They love to play that Junk Rat. And Stitches! They do it! Stitches is in play. They have it with Malfurion this time, not with Tyrande, but they're going for the hooks once more. Alright. Let's double check what Ukraine is gonna do. Leoric gets picked for the offlane. And a bit more damage needed. What's it gonna be? Ukraine with the last pick on Li Ming. Again, Li Ming still quite powerful here, but has to be careful with the damage output around the shrine, since there's a lot of minions that can soak the damage. And talking damage, we have Tyrael, and that is again scope on Tyrael. He loves that hero and picks it continuously, and now we have that sanctification available for them too. He loves to be on the offlane Tyrael. I actually think at this point it's pretty likely that eventually Tyrael is going to be banned out against him. Be it as it may, let's head into game number 1. Ukraine against Germany. Game number 1, Infernal Shrines, and on the left we have Denado for Ukraine on Diablo, Candlelight on Leoric, Valamax on Li Ming, Shamzik on Tyrande, and Witness on Hanzo. To the right side of the map, Laranas, the Stitches god himself, on probably one of his favorite heroes, Stitches, and we have him with Phil on Malfurion, so the combo between the two of them is something to watch out for. Blank on Junkrat with a bouncy on level 1 again. Clayton on Reyna, and Scope on Tyrael. Scope has one simple motto, and that is, ohne Tyrael, keine competition, baby. So he gets his Tyrael again for the offlane. He's riding the Battle Beast, a little bit of a pleb style here when it comes to the mount selection. I really think that we should educate him in the ways of the money pick. But outside of that, his Tyrael is pretty solid. The hook already, and the immediate follow-up. This is something that I highlighted in the game before, but I have to do it again because it was just so pleasant to watch. Well, wait a second, because maybe Ukraine with the first kill? Not yet. I really love the interaction between Laranas and Phil. The two of them as a duo have really done a fantastic job, and here you see it again. They get the kill against Hanzo. It's not only Lorana's landing these hooks, it's Phil just having the trust the entire time and landing those roots. In this case is a root. In the games before we saw him do the exact same thing with Tyrande quite regularly. Lorana's trying to get the hook. Was a little bit tricky for him because of the minion wave that came through, but Phil is ready for the roots, and that's the second kill as it stands. The German efficiency in the early game is looking very good. I had no idea how to end that sentence. I was so focused on trying to get the fake German accent out that I actually didn't know how to end that. Anyways, you get the joke. 2-0 already. Ukraine having a bit of trouble. Again, by the way, the massive damage output from the two here. But Clayton wasn't with him, so he could not get the final hit in against Hanzo. I'm a little bit blown away of how well this is going for Germany right now. Did not expect that at all. Ukraine is a very, very strong team. They showed that in the group stage several times, especially when they took down Poland. But now we're looking at this series, and it's actually a great draft for Ukraine too. But it's working so well for Germany again. These hooks are just delivering, and this setup makes the entire lineup of Germany super, super scary. It's actually pretty tricky right now, because Germany is in such a... They're in such a weird set that every time you see them in draft, you talk to them, and you see them in chat, for example, they seem pretty memey, and when there's nothing on the line in the group stage, they were getting a couple of weird picks out there too, had a little bit of fun with it. So you never really know how much time, how much effort are they putting into this, but every time when it matters, they are all of a sudden delivering. So they're doing a really good job around that, but it's still tricky for me to find out, okay, how good are these guys actually? How much of a chance do they have to make it to the grand final, for example? But at least in this first group stage game in the round of 8, they're doing well. Big fight over the point. Larana's down, and Ukraine just standing up tall and saying, yep, we can get kills too. Leorki suicides a little bit in the back line, but they get another one, and this time it's against Tyrael. Oh, the massive damage. Everybody low. But they can't get the kill. Or can they? Nah, not quite. Again, a couple of Battle.net hiccups here. Something seems to be a little bit off with the servers today. While we were waiting for the game to start and sitting in the lobby, there was actually a huge amount of people disconnected from Battle.net from my friends list. So I think something's happening. As long as it doesn't affect the players too much, I don't think there's a problem with it. But I apologize again that we have these little mini lags. Again, there's another one. Nothing that we can do about that, unfortunately. But the games have been good so far, so I guess we can for now at least live with it. And to be fair, as I said before, might also play a bit of a role that I'm still in the US, and obviously we are connected to the European server here, so that might play a bit of a role in those delays as well. Just moving back to Europe at the end of the month after the HTC cancellation. So just to keep you guys a little bit updated here and give you a bit of an explanation. Stuns coming out again as we fight over the first objective though. Denardo is far out and gets even a few tower shots straight to the face here. No kill though. Huge exchange of cooldowns, but not a single kill just yet. And they're starting to pressure into the point again. Candlelight is low, but the hook is hitting Tyrande. And that's another kill. 4 kills against 2. Germany again with a coordinated effort to drop the backline. And it is successful as the Stitches combo takes down the support on the side of Ukraine. And we have the lead in the minions by quite a bit actually. Tyrael already moved straight into the middle. Scope, he loves to play as Tyrael on the offlane, and he's now starting to soak again. Let's take another quick look also at the talents here. Haven't really shown that too much. And as you can see here, Strangling Vines taken again. Another indicator already that the idea is to blow the targets to pieces that get hooked. And on top of that, the bouncy build that we have from Junkrat. This is pretty much what we've seen a lot from the German Junkrat player. Blank loves to take this particular style, also with the Sticky Wicket as his level 7 choice. And there's actually a couple of adjustments that were made by players here. Just look over at Tyrande, for example, going into the spell armor with a Khaldor resistance. Personally, I think really that the Celestial Attunement might have been a little bit better for her, considering with how well Malfurion plays around the roots. But they decided to make it just a little bit harder to get that spell damage in with the Khaldor resistance. Also, when you look at the talent choices, the level 1 here for Stitches with a Hungry for More. So again, the focus on getting the Globe talents in. And on top of that, we're having on level 7 now the Cannibalize. So just trying to get some additional heals in. I mean, for the time being, this is working really well for Germany. The question just remains what happens around the level 10 abilities. Because we've been talking a bit earlier about how much of a perfect setup we kind of have for the Ukraine when you are looking at the setup here. Because you still can go through an Entomb into Apocalypse. Ooh, Diablo goes a little bit deep for this one. Phil might be in trouble here, and he goes down. Hanzo with a kill. Well done. And this is definitely showing that it's not only Germany that is really dangerous here. Ukraine is also looking at a lineup that can deliver these quick kills. We haven't really seen too many well-executed Diablo and Tyrande combos yet, but I think around level 10 there's much more of a chance of seeing crowd control chains coming through, especially of course with Entomb into an Apocalypse, or maybe even a Hanzo Arrow into an Apocalypse as well. There's a lot of tools that they have once heroic abilities are available to make that happen. But already they're starting to get some kills in here. So Germany might have started with a bit of a bang, but that doesn't mean that they're going to continue the entire game this way. Good move away here. Junkrat moving out, making sure that nobody else gets hurt. But the level 10 abilities are now nearly ready for both of them, and the next shrine is going to spawn mid-side, where Leoric is currently just holding the lane and is trying to escort the wave in, but both of the teams are also working around their own camps. Now, I still expect that we're going to see the Shaman camps being attacked pretty soon to time them with the objective. That's at least the play that you would expect to be made, and yep, we have it on the side of Ukraine. Don't really see it yet from Germany. The level 10 abilities are there though, and that gives us Putrid Bile for the shrine control. Malfurion still a little bit hesitant. I mean, both are... Yeah, I would have expected Twilight Dream, but he could have been playing with both here. I mean, you can still go for the sustain in those fights, especially in the 5 versus 5 setup that is to be expected with Tranquility. No Apocalypse, by the way. Lightning Breath. I'm always a bit torn on the heroic for Diablo. I really think if you have good synergy for that extra stun, it's something that I personally really enjoy. And with the Hanzo Arrow and also Entomb, I think Apocalypse could have been great. But I can absolutely understand why a Lightning Breath is great on Infernal Shrines as well. You take the position, you really establish yourself on the shrine, you get the damage in against the minions too. Can even be used to just deliver the final few when you're already close to getting a Punisher. So there's good arguments to be made for both. Just a bit of a personal preference here. But the fight is about to start, and now the outside damage from Blank is bouncy, helping him a lot. Oh, voila, Max with the escape as the hook comes close. That hook has definitely ruffled a couple of hairs here. Nice wall stun though by Denado as Diablo looks for the engage. Here comes the Putrid Bile. The engage from Germany, a big one as that, as they're heading into the shrine here, trying to see if they can maybe get a kill. Good Entomb from the outside. Here comes the Lightning Breath. Clayton gets roasted. What a play by Ukraine. Well done. Nice counter attempt here to go for Valamax. He gets away. What? The dominance keeps him alive. Unbelievable play now by Ukraine. But Hanzo, he still falls. And we're having a fight over the shrine that hasn't ended yet. Yeah, it might be a 3 versus 4, but they're still looking for an opportunity here. Stitches dies though, and the blue team is starting to take out Phil too. Yep, Malfurion is dead, and Ukraine, damn, taking down the Germans in the last battle there. Well done, and claimed the objective too. That was actually a little bit insane. I mean, the Entomb from Leoric over the wall, completely trapping Jimmy, was out of this world. And then everybody just delivering the damage. Clayton did everything he could, used his level 4 ability with a Fight or Flight 2 to try and sustain himself through the damage. Couldn't make that happen though. And then we nearly see the kill against Li Ming. Blank on his Tyrell, jumping into the backline with the Eldruin Smite again and delivering the final blow, or think he would. But Dominance, the talent on Li Ming on level 4, allows her to survive after they get the takedown. And even the Tyrell explosion doesn't kill her. Really, really well done here by Ukraine. That was a fantastic battle from start to finish. And they get a lot out of it. Not only did they get the kills in the Punisher, but now they also took down the first fort in the game, taking it in the middle. And they are rotating to the bot lane, where they can establish even more of a presence, thanks to that camp that they are claiming. Level 13 now for both of the teams. For Stitches, that means that we're having a bit of a slam focus here, going into the Vile Gas instead. And more so the armor reduction that you really, really want here. A little bit more damage from the backliners is going to be great for them. Already landing or attempting to land those hooks again, but not so much this time. Ukraine is definitely showing Germany how it's done in that last fight, but the battle, of course, not over yet. Up to the top lane, Leoric doing his thing so far. And down at the bottom, the invade on the camp. They are still present with 5 heroes, and with Leoric pushing out the top lane, it's going to take a little bit longer for him to finally reach the tower, so Tyrael has a bit more time. But as long as they have 5 heroes at the bottom of the map, there wasn't really a reason for Germany to not invade the camp. It's a numeric advantage that they're running at the bottom half, so they can do that. Tyrael still gets up to the top, mostly in time to take the wave, but actually starts moving back down again. Apparently they're looking for a fight. I was a little bit hesitant. Turing going top, down, and he missed most of that experience, actually. It was a little bit of a weird moment. It really looked like the German team made a call and tried to order him back into the mid lane to force a fight here, but it then didn't work out the way that they intended to. It was a little bit weird from their perspective. But at this point, Germany is looking again for an engage. They're trying to show Ukraine how the sausage is made. But Laranas is falling first. The Ukraine is having none of it. They're saying like, are you kidding us? We're going to take you down. Good luck with that. Oh, Malfurion. What a fight. A 2-for-2 trade. Malfurion steps forward with a Twilight Dream. Gets enough damage onto Leming that Reyna can deliver the final blow. But he himself exposes himself to Diablo. Gets blown to pieces. What a fight again. And it isn't even over yet. Here comes Leoric. Here's the Entomb. Tyrael is looking for the Endruins. And he has it in time to escape. Gets the movement speed of what is happening here. Diablo is back and goes for Reyna. Damn. Both of the teams are absolutely on fire here right now. That is insane. I'm loving this. I absolutely love this. This is like a pretty huge exchange. Time after time again. Just going in and kill after kill. I mean, we're 12, 13 minutes into the game and we have already 17 kills here. And it was just explosive exchanges all over, all game long. But Ukraine has a lead again on the Shrine. They're at the level 16 as well. And if you just look at the Shrine now too, it's an Arcane Punisher. Ukraine is doing exceptionally well here right now. I love this. This is actually fantastic. I mean, we've been talking in the group stage about how strong this team is. And the Russians were just a bit too much for them. So when we had that fight happen, the Russian team just showed how dominant they were in the group. But Ukraine still played really well. And now we're seeing them go up against Germany, who dominated their own group. And it just once again gives credibility to the strength and the skill level that we're seeing from the blue team here. Fantastic series so far. And it's only the first game. I really hope that this is going to be a 5-mapper, because so far it was a pleasure to watch, and I hope that the games in the future are going to reflect that too. 16 versus 17 now, but both on the same talent. The hooks are starting to be dodged. They're not hitting anymore, and that's a problem. Oh my god! Laranas is getting wrecked in that fight. Keeps himself alive with a Devour, and a great sanctification keeps him in play. If they can get the kill here, the counter killer would be insane. Leoric goes down. Oh my god! Phil falls 2 on Malfurion. Can they at least get Leming? Diablo is dead. They're gonna make it a 3-for-2. What the hell is happening here? The fort is down, but look at these fights. Holy shit, what's going on in this game? First, the Punisher jumps in. Everybody collapses on Laranas. He gets barely the Devour through. Then Scope jumps in on Tyrael, drops the Sanctification. Leming is just bunny hopping to opponents, getting the Calamity damage in play, and dropping not only Stitches finally, but also getting the kill against Phil on Malfurion. But Germany in the meantime is getting the counter kills and is actually ending up in a 3-for-2 trade in the battle. That's insane. They still lost the fort at the top lane, but damn, that was quite something. What a battle once again. This is just insanity. I love this. This is such a great game here. I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, mistakes on both sides, but that's what really makes it entertaining here. And we have some fantastic plays from both teams. And with 16, we're also seeing the spread volley. We're having on 16 the Paint 'em Red from Jimmy. That is going to make his life a lot easier, especially, of course, with how aggressive Denato was on his Diablo so far. But beautiful game. Great, great match between the two of them. And at least on the first map, they seem evenly matched as well. Double camp in the mid lane, by the way. And Tyrael is going to try and take care of that. Let's take a look at the damage. Yeah, Li Ming as expected. 39,000. Easily top damage for the team. Even more damage than Hanzo. So that's pretty sick. But look at that Junkrat damage. 49,000. Reina himself already sitting at 31k. It's not too bad either. It's a pretty sick game so far. But Ukraine has the lead. They are ahead. They have not only a lead in kills, they have taken out 2 forts, so that's catapult spawning all the time. And we're having them in an experience lead, which now helps them to get an earlier level 20. And as it happens, that could be the case around the time the next shrine will appear on the map. So you have to be super careful with this if you're playing for Germany. Those lags are really unfortunate. It's just a bad timing for something like this to happen while we're having these games happening here. But alright, maybe in the previous games we're going to be a bit more lucky with it. Either way, we have now both of them trying to get their 20. And that's why Scope is all the way up to the top. But great rotation. Love this. This is a great move. They see heroes busy in the mid lane, trying to go for the deep push. They see heroes all the way up the top, and a quick rotation down to the bottom of the map eliminates the last fort. And Germany now has no outer defense anymore. And if you look at the minimap, there's actually still a fort on every single lane for Ukraine. And they have also a fountain here. And as you can tell on the minimap, yep, that's where the next shrine is going to be announced. In the middle. How do you get that experience? Well, you try to take down a few of those structures at the bottom of the map and ideally drop that fort too. But the rotation is underway. The wave is taken as well. There's the level 20 talents now finally, and I don't think Germany can fight this. Not against level 20. Yeah, they're trying, but here comes Diablo. Putrid Bile already being used. Stitches gets put in again. Wall Slam comes in as well, and Laranas is down. He stayed too long, and he gets punished for it. Clayton with a fantastic dodge here as the Li Ming combo comes in, but Leoric is already ready with the Entomb, and the mob straight to the helmet is taking Jim Reina down, and that could not have come at a worse time for Germany. Not only are they not level 20 yet, this is the time for the shrine to spawn and be activated, and the Ukraine is going for this immediately. And this is fantastic for Ukraine. They've been doing extremely well. That was an incredible start. And Germany just stayed too long. That was not a great call from them. Initial call was absolutely fantastic. Yes, go for the fort, start attacking it, drop the wall, make the play right there. But then they needed to move back earlier, and they do it too late. And even with the great dodges that we had from Reina, for example, against the Li Ming combo, they were completely caught off guard here. Denardo was able to lock down Stitches, and then Leoric came in time for the Entomb. Scope has to be careful too. Damn, son. Insta-blow up. Look at these Diablo plays. Uses the perfect choke point. Yeah, wall stun number 1, dominance, wall stun number 2. And it was just a complete stun chain against Tyrael. And you know what that is? That is a pretty bad moment to be a fan of the Germans. You know why? Because now Tyrael is a staggered death. They just had Jimmy back. And now Tyrael is down for another 40 seconds. He might be ready for the defense, though, but over here, we're having the Mortar Punisher now moving through the middle, and things are really looking bad for Germany now. We're going a bit for a Hail Mary hook over here, trying to hit someone from the back line. That didn't happen, but now we're seeing the key being attacked in the mid lane. That one is going to fall soon, and it might be even core. Ukraine is pressuring now, and so they should. Tyrael going to be back in 10 seconds, but that Punisher went through the keep like it's nothing. 19 minutes into the game, and here we go. The pressure is on. They go again for Stitches. He has his 22, tries to stay alive. The shield is gone. That Punisher still doing damage. Clayton is dead. Reina already down, and he's not going to be the only one to die here. We have Shamsix barely keeping himself alive. Li Ming is about to get dropped. Tyrande falls first, but the core has fallen. Ukraine with the lead against Germany. Ukraine with a victory in game number 1. Pretty awesome start into the series. Germany with fantastic hooks at the beginning of the game and very quick kills. But then as the game progresses and we see heroic abilities coming in, all of a sudden we have Ukraine taking the lead. Not only in the map, but taking then the victory towards the end too. Very well done by them. And Germany with a lot of mistakes towards the last 5 minutes of the game. So now we're heading into game number 2, which is on Towers of Doom. This is a best-of-5 series, obviously, as we're already in the quarterfinals. It's also a single elimination bracket, so whoever loses here is out of the tournament. The ban on Abatha, the ban on Maiev. For me, personally, the question is going to be, will Hammer be banned out again, yes or no? The Respect Diablo ban after all the bullying that Laranas on his Stitches had to endure in the last game. Apparently done with those constant stuns that are coming out here. I guess Tyrael got a bit of a taste of that too. But there's the Hammer ban. No tanks for the Germans. When it comes to the picks though, the map choice is from Ukraine. Germany went for the first pick, first ban, and the first pick is Tyrande. Phil playing his Malfurion well in the last game, but he wants to go back to the stuns. So we have that. Could be paired off with a Nunubara, could be paired also with Johanna, Garrosh, all good options. Even a Muradin if you want to run with that Stormbolt combo into a Tyrande stun. Garrosh taken away. And what else are we going to get from them? Could play off lane. It's a good map for the Haka if you want to, but Malfurion more so the focus. So they have an opportunity to get the flip in and then the root on the ground. But since this is Towers of Doom, there's a good chance that the Haka is going to make an early appearance for the offlane so that they can't get banned out. That's what we have to watch out for. But you need definitely something to just like combo with Tyrande. It's kind of what you're looking for here. Still waiting to see if one of the teams eventually is going to go into a Medivh. And there we have it. Dehaka taken right away. And with him, Jaina. So the burst damage after Tyrande's stun. You can, of course, also combo off a Tong from Dehaka. There's another play that you can make if he gets that in first. So with a good borrow and a connect on the drag, you can set up Tyrande for really good damage. And then, of course, Jaina herself with all the bursts. Get the Blizzard through. Cone of Cold. Ukraine. They are heading into their bans, and I mean, they can ban the frontline now. They can really try and get rid of one of the frontliners, and that's what they're doing. They're a little bit afraid of maybe the engage happening with the Nuburak and then the immediate burst damage here. So we have a Nuburak banned out. That leaves Germany with the option to go for Johanna, to go for... I mean, they could theoretically play Stitches again, don't get me wrong. I mean, with the setup that they have here, Stitches hook into Tyrande stun plus also Jaina damage, that is way, way scarier than what they ran in the last game when it comes to Stitches. But if you want to go away from that, hey, we need to hook someone to get a lead here, then Johanna would be an option, Muradin is an option for them. There's a few ways they could play around that, but the top tanks in the game, most of them have now also been eliminated. Mal'Ganis as a setup might work too, but Mal'Ganis is always a little bit weird. Great frontline again. Having Arthas and Garrosh in the same team, it's just such a tanky frontline that I'm very interested to see how Germany is going to react to this. Hanzo taken, and that's a lot. Again, that's a huge amount of stuns stacked. And with Hanzo, you have also that interrupts through the scatter shot whenever the whenever an altar is about to be claimed. You can try and go for an interrupt here. And now it's time for Germany to show what they're going to go for here. Phoenix and Muradin. Okay. Muradin, Jaina, and Tyrande. Super old school. I mean, this is something that we could see even in 2005, for example. One of the old school combos where Miranda, Tyrande, Muradin would like walk across the map with Jaina, just like try and go between lanes and get those kills in. Pretty sweet setup here. And Ukraine in the lead against Germany. And they're going for Thrall. Okay, very heavy frontline setup. Need to be a bit careful with this still. Jaina, if she gets the damage out, can do a lot of work against this lineup. But it's also very heavily pressuring Muradin, so he needs to be super careful with this. Game number 2, Towers of Doom. Ukraine in the lead, Germany trying to tie it. It is a best of 5. Keep that in mind as we're heading into the second map of the series. Game number 2, Ukraine in the lead, and we have the team in blue starting off to the left with Witness on Hanzo, Shamsik on Malfurion, Denardo on Garrosh, Valamax on Thrall, and Candlelight on Arthas. To the right side of the map, the Germans with Laranas on Muradin, Blank on Phoenix, Phil on Tyrande, trying to follow up on these Stormbolts. We have Clayton on Jaina, and Scope, this time not on Tyrael, but he's actually playing Dehaka here. Alright, let's get ready for some action and see if the Germans are able to tie the series here. Where's your efficiency now, Germany? Where's your efficiency now? They were very efficient in the early game of game number 1, but they fell apart towards the later stage. Staggering deaths when the death timers are already exceeding an entire minute is always a bad thing, and that's exactly what happened to them, and that allowed Ukraine to move in for a quick core kill after they obliterated the keep in the mid lane. There is a lot of damage potential now on both sides, by the way, with Jaina in the mix and also her being accompanied by Tyrande. That's obviously a great setup where you can go from Stormbolt into Tyrande stun, Hunter's Mark, plus Jaina damage. And if you land that against someone like Hanzo or Malfurion, even Thrall, that's pretty much lights out. So they have to be, Ukrainians have to be very careful, but they also have some tools here. You flip someone over with Garrosh and he gets locked down by, well, either Malfurion or Thrall, and all of a sudden you're running for your life too. Nado already trying to get his own stacks in, and talk about stacks, let's have a look at this. 3 stacks on Echo of Elements, which we have again as the talent. And they're trying to invade. Here comes the jump and the stun. Didn't I just talk about how he's going to be eliminated if he's getting hit? And it's still the case. Thanks for making me look good, Jaina, because I got scared for a moment. So he dodges quite a bit of that combo, by the way, but he's still taken down. And this is just a massive problem. The damage output of this setup is insane. And this is a great start for Germany. I mean, not only do they get the kill, they also take the camp. So that's already half of the wall gone, the first tower eliminated here. Top lane pressure between Arthas and Dehaka. Arthas, by the way, going for his block talent on level 1. Rhyme taken here. We've seen a lot of focus just recently onto the trade, trying to get the extra damage out over the duration of the game. Sometimes working out, but a little bit hit or miss, I want to say. With level 4 talents, things are starting to become a little different. I mean, the Hero Stalker comes in here first of all, so we're going to see Dehaka very likely going to make more than one appearance at the bottom. Having the Indomitable really helps Garrosh at this point to move away from a combo whenever he's being hit by it, so definitely easier for him to stay alive. Thrall continues with that build, by the way. It's these days actually a very, very common build. More and more do we see Frostwolf pack on level 4. Mana Tide is of course still a fantastic talent, but if you're planning already to go into Alpha Wolf as your 16, then having the Frostwolf pack is highly important. And if it's a map where you see a lot of team fight happening, if you're playing very careful around your wolves, you should be able to get that talent completed too. But of course, if your team is struggling in the early game, it might be a different story, since every time you die, you're gonna lose all of these stacks. We're seeing also for Hanzo, he's going into the Stormbolt build here, explosive arrows, and the target practice on level 1. Stormbolt, Tyrande stun, and the channel not completed as the owl comes in, and with Chain Lightning, there's a lot of interrupt potential now. Dehaka, is he going to burrow in? No, he moves to the top first. Stormbolt misses as Laranas makes the engage, but here's Dehaka. Dehaka comes in, and he's trying to get the drag, and he connects it, and Indomitable was used already. But the backline is weak, and Arthas is starting to move in to try and walk them down. Blank on his Phoenix, barely surviving. Laranas jumps out. It was a close call, but the root is on the ground. Clayton, the Howling Blast connects with him, and Jaina tries to turn it around. Muradin falls. Can they get the kill? Yes, they do. The counter kill against Arthas is there. A 4 versus 4 now all of a sudden. Ukraine is fighting for this. It is the third altar. So far an even exchange, but a great flip and kill against Phoenix. Well done by the front line here. Denado with fantastic plays on Diablo on the last map, and now he's doing the same thing with Garrosh. 2 altars for Ukraine, 1 for Germany. The Ukrainians again in the lead. Not a significant one yet, but they tagged the earlier level 7. They have a bit of an advantage when it comes to points on the core. And by now, that means that we also have the answer. Like, the 7 talent here in general is just insane for the blue team. Ancestral Wrath, you have the Icebound Fortitude, then the Nature's Cure. Those 3 talents alone are already giving so much survivability to the blue team that it is a bit scary. Howling Blast, the drag here, connecting, but not quite working out. I mean, you can't really expect to take down Arthas here. And again, at the bottom of the map, we also have a bit of a skirmish happening there. Stun attempts the entire time. Phil has already connected 7 stuns, by the way, after level 4. In those 3 levels, between level 4 and level 7, he has already connected 7 stuns. That is not too bad. Of course, it's made easy when you're... Oh my god, another double hit. That was a good one. And the completion of the Frostwolf pack, but the camp is still stolen. So yeah, Germany is definitely in for a bit more of a fight. They had I don't want to call it an easy group stage, but they definitely dominated their group quite heavily. But right now, this is a different beast. They're going up against the Ukraine, and they are not a pushover team by any means. Far from it. Here comes the rotation again. They're trying to get a 2 versus 1 going. The Haka is there. Bot lane. And a single altar on the map. Oh, Shamzik. Yeah, moonfiring that bush was a great idea, my friend. This is what you see on this level. No face checks. If he would have face checked that, that would have been the end of it. Mirrodin is still lingering around, but can't connect the Stormbolt. It's a bit too much. But they're zoning this really well. And actually, with how much zoning is happening here, you just need to slow down the opponent a little bit. This looks like a free one. This looks like a freebie. This is going to be a freebie. Clayton gets this easy peasy. And Germany just says, thank you very much. Actually, they're probably saying like, thank you very much. But they get it. So now, both teams just one level away from their heroic abilities. And that's when the fun starts. First of all, when we're just looking over, the arrow on Hanzo is what I'm looking for the most. Those Hanzo connects, if you land that arrow, that's always such a fantastic initiation into any kind of fight. And as we are seeing a lot of them just stacked around the altars when the objective happens, that could be a huge problem for Germany. Blank in particular has to be so careful. Phoenix with a warp is fantastic, but if you get interrupted as the animation runs in, then you have a huge amount of trouble to keep yourself alive. So level 10s are just a bit quicker for Ukraine. Unlikely that's going to have an impact unless Hanzo hits an insane arrow now all of a sudden. But as Germany claims their own heroic abilities, I doubt that we're going to see that anytime soon. So Thrall decided to go into Earthquake. And we have Ring of Frost. Ring of Frost is going to be the tool, the weapon of choice for Jaina. Drag at the top lane. Still a battle between the Haka and Arthas the entire time. Down to the bottom. The camp spotted out. Okay, Owl's continuously being sent over to the camp, and they're actually trying to steal it. Garrosh is on the way. I'm not quite sure if that's going to work out the way that they intend to. The camp is there. There's the stun. They're getting flipped, and here comes the taunt, the Earthquake, and Tyrande is dead. Ring of Frost on the ground connects with 2. The damage from Blank, and he gets a Purification Salvo through. But can they get the kill? Burrow. Oh, Thrall survives. Thrall survives. The Haka doesn't, and now the chase is on as the Ukraine looks for more kills. Ukraine with another attempt to go for Jaina. This one fails. A double altar on the map, and whoa. Germany is just playing this a bit too greedy. They were playing greedy in the last game, and now they are losing both of these altars. Yes, Tyrande delays it, but there's nothing that they can do about it in the long run. So another 4 shots fired, and a camp invaded. Wow, talking about greedy, Ukraine, they want everything right now, and they might actually get everything. They get another kill, aren't they? Candlelight, is he gonna fall? Nope, he walks away from this. 5 kills against 2. Arthas completes his quest. Mirrodin is down just as the rest of the team is back to business. They steal the camp away. They take both of the altars. Like, damn, the Germans are getting walked over at this point. This is problematic, to say the least, for the red team. I mean, they have to try and somehow come back into this. If they fall with an 0-2, then it would be so difficult to make a reverse sweep happen against a team that so far has played insanely well. Howling Blast, the Root, and Phoenix. Yeah, not in trouble because the isolation connects. And that's not the only thing! The Ring of Frost as Jaina walks in and just says, "Get wrecked, kids." Goes in, connects with both, and that damage was just too much to dodge. Thrall never even having a chance to use the Earthquake, even if he wanted to. That was brutal. And that's exactly what Germany needed. This is exactly it. The bottom bell tower has fallen. That was taken by Ukraine, and now to the top, Germany is at least going for the 1-for-1 trade. So they take one back, both teams still with the control of 4. 13 versus 13 talents, and Germany is back to business. Healing Static is going to make the life of Loranas at the front line a bit easier. He gets now the synergy with his level 4 talent Thunderburn. So the double clap, twice the heals. Well, and with that, we're now also seeing them in a position where they can pretty easily zone everybody out from the altar on the right side. Should be an even trade, a 1-for-1. Very unlikely that we're going to see a fight, but then again, who knows? Loranas is tempted, you can tell. And yeah, they're looking for it. Stormbolt, not going for that yet, not using the cooldown. Might use it against Arthas here, and yep, that's the one that connects. Denado is low. But Jaina is dead. Whoa, the salvo. But Germany is in trouble. The Haka comes in and they're still fighting for it. This is a double altar right now. Germany with a huge risk that they're taking at this point. Their drag comes in. Scope is completely isolated and Germany has already given up on this one. They're already starting to channel on the right side. The Haka is down and it's just tough for them outside of ganks to get kills. 7 against 4 now on the kill count. And Ukraine is just playing this too well. They're getting all the damage in. We have 12 stacks already on Broccoli. Again, they're moving down to the bottom to try and steal one of the camps away. Tyrande scouts it out. 14 stacks, by the way, on the Lunar Blaze. So Lunar Flare is hitting over and over again from Tyrande. Phil is doing a good job on that. But they can't really get the kills. It's such a tanky frontline, too, for the Ukraine. Arthur's, Garrosh, and Thrall then on top of that. But whenever that Ring of Frost lands, it's a bit of a different story. Denado again, Ring of Frost comes in, but this time they were not in a position where they could really take the fight. So it's a big cooldown burn, but they're trying to reclaim that bell tower at the bot lane. Arthur's has already retaken the top, so at this point Ukraine is in a massive lead. Again with the attempt to connect the Wolf, this time dodged by Laranas. There's just so much CC. Arthur's has the Howling Blast, you have the Wolf from Thrall. Then, of course, not only Malfurion with the root, but at the same time the Hanzo arrow that's several times connected here for an additional stun. The CC train is just insane. Okay, good stun. Good damage against Denado. The Haka comes in from the side, but the roots are there again, and it is a bit of a choke point, so difficult for Germany to walk through that. And Ukraine, very disciplined, walks away from this. But Germany should now finally be in a position where they can reclaim the bottom bell tower. At least Jaina's already working on that. She gets it, a bit of damage being pushed in, but that's it. And Germany is still looking for the fight. They know that they can fight now as there's no level 16 for their opponent yet. So they're trying to take the battle before the 16 talent is in. The taunt against Mirrodin. He jumps out. Denado might fall finally. No, he's being kept alive. And the arrow hits the backline and that's the end of Mirrodin. Oh my god, like Ukraine, damn. Phoenix dead. They go for Tyrande. Phil just getting walked down here with a frozen Tempest, just slowing him down. And this is the Haka most likely dying too. No way for him to get away. It's a triple altar, by the way. This is a disaster for Germany. Every altar goes over to Ukraine. That's going to be 12 points off the core of Germany. Massive hits already starting here. They're down to 12, and this one is going to bring them down to 8. And with the boss now taken too, it gets worse. Holy cow! Germany is going to be down to 4 points on the core against 28. Damn. Did Denado actually die? Nope. Not a single time. Denado didn't die once. And considering how massively they were trying to finally kill him, it's insane. It's not only him playing really well around the Indomitable and his self-heal, but at the same time you have Malfurion with the Tranquility and with the heals, keeping him always in play here. Nature's Cure, of course, another tool that they're using. But this is an absolute disaster from the German perspective. I actually felt heading into the series they were even the favorite to take it. I expected Ukraine to really put up a fight. But if you would have asked me who do I think is going to win this, I would have said, well, Germany has a bit of an edge probably. I expected a close game, but we're not even getting this. It's actually the Ukraine that is just shutting down Germany every step of the way. Again, the pressure at the bottom, 16 talents are there, and this is the moment where Germany has to say, guys, we need to win something here. There's the connect, and Denado, does he finally die? Okay, he's killable. And here comes Germany, looking to make it 2 kills. They need more. They're down to 4 points on their core. What they need is momentum, and they need a lot of it. Here comes the Stormbolt, the stun. Hanzo is dead. Phoenix is not dying. Balamax cannot get the next Chain Lightning in. And now we have a problem on Arthur's. 3 kills for Germany. Can they make it 4? They go for Thrall, but he is moving away a bit too quickly. But this isn't all that Germany needs. 4 kills or 3 kills, that's a good start. But believe me, they need a lot more momentum than only those kills. They need the altar that is spawning. They need to get camps. They need to try and get that bell tower. This is just Germany with the back to the wall right now. The Germans are wounded and they are angry. 4 points on the core against 28. They take the kills. They move in. They drop the bell tower at the bottom. The Haka with a channel in time, gets the 5 shots through, but that just means it's 4 points against 23, and you are still way behind. Experience might be a little bit in their favor, but Germany now has to hold on to that bot lane, or at least go for a trade with a bell tower in the middle or the top. And they decide to control the bot lane, control the mercenaries, control the bottom of the map, and try to somehow come back into this. Because right now, things are not looking pretty for them. Jaina has the 43,000 damage, but the pressure against the front line, as we said during the draft, with the melee-heavy setup that Ukraine has, is insane. Muradin gets flipped into the death zone, he gets taunted too, and he somehow survives. Unbelievable. Muradin survives, at least for the time being, and Germany is fighting back here. Heroics are being used all over the place. Tranquility keeps the Ukraine in play, but what a battle already. If Muradin gets popped in that instance, then it's all lights out. And if you look over to the abilities, Tyrande with the Celestial Attunement, just trying to make sure that those CCs are not going to work too well against the frontliner. But unbelievable here already. Level 16 talents now also with the Embrace Death. So Arthur's trying to keep himself alive for much, much longer. And we have a camp taken. Double altar at the map. And keep in mind, now it's 3 bell towers against 5. So in theory, Germany can actually sacrifice one of those altars. But let's be honest, what are the chances of that actually happening? They're pretty low. If you're Germany, you don't want to risk that. A single point on the core, are you really going to risk that? I doubt it, but that's what likely might be happening. Germany is going to go for that fight, I'm pretty sure. No, they're actually... Wow, they're actually sacking it. Oh, wow. They go for the 1 point on the core play. 2 shots fired here at the bottom, as you just saw, by the way, through the mercenary that they took earlier. So it's 1 point against 15. That's unwinnable, right? Can you actually turn that around? I mean, they're going to try. Nearly the completion on Muradin's quest. He's sitting on 21 now, and they go for the trade. They go for the trade. They go into the middle. They see the heroes at the bot lane reclaiming the bell tower, and they're just going for the middle. As they burst it down as quickly as you can. Try and get to 20. Try and get to 20. They get the burst here, but they have to be careful. Is it gonna be enough? There's the stun. Stormbolt quest completed, and they don't quite get it. The arrow into the backline. Celestial Attunement immediately being used. Thrall already from the side. Warp from Phoenix, not successful, and he didn't have his 20 yet. Level 20 now in the hands of Ukraine, and they are using that play immediately to try and set that up. Thrall blinks out. The Storm talents are so good for Ukraine now. Germany is forced into a really bad fight at this point in time. They flip in Laranas, and he dies to Ukraine. They are having none of this. Absolutely nothing. And the boss is open. They make the play, and that's going to be lights out. Germany, they know it. They're starting to scout it out with the owl. They're moving in. They have to fight, but they know this is a Hail Mary. This is not possible unless there's a massive misplay from the Ukrainian team, and it's not happening at all. That is going to be game number 2 in the hands of Ukraine. Another victory, a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series. Tuba the Spider Queen, game number 3 in Germany, is currently getting their ass kicked. Pretty hard. So Laranas and friends, they enjoyed a very good group stage, but they are having huge troubles now in the bracket stage against Ukraine. Oftentimes in the early game, we're seeing the Germans with successful kills, but this is actually tough. There's the Sergeant Hammer ban again, so Ukraine is pretty much sticking to their MO. They're saying like, well, what works? Why would we change anything? The games are working for us, so our drafts are always looking strong. The entire synergy between us is working. The calls are being made really well, and why would we change our playstyle here? We have a 2-0 lead. We can even experiment a bit in the next game if we wanted to. But Tomb of the Spider Queen might even be the last map of this series. Germany has to perform a reverse sweep if they want to move on to the next round of the tournament, to the semi-final. And here's the ban on Inubarak. So again, trying to prevent the heavy engage from Germany. And now the question, of course, first and foremost, what tank are we going to see for the Germans? Stitches again? Is that going to be the setup? Are we going to see that Tyrande first pick for them? Keep in mind they still have a ban. And then it depends a bit on what Ukraine is going to do. But there's the ban on Garrosh, the front line is being targeted and leaves Diablo open. And we've seen Diablo with a lot of success in game number 1 for them. But Tyrande picked right away. Okay. How is Germany going to react to this? They could go into a Malfurion here and try and combo that off with either Diablo or with Stitches. But up to this point, Ukraine has been running the show here, and they've been doing incredibly well. But there it is. Diablo and Malfurion. Alright. Kind of like it. We had a lack of Diablo recently on this map, and that always surprised me. But here comes Hanzo again. They played him now 2 times. 2 times they won, and they play Hanzo again as the damage dealer, and also, of course, for the arrows. Johanna for the front line. With that, obviously, they have an added element of wave clear in their draft, something that Diablo just can't provide to the same extent. And time to ban. What do you actually ban here? I mean, you can ban an offlaner and really try and just limit the options of Ukraine a bit. They've been doing, they've been playing very heavy melee compositions, especially of course in Towers of Doom. But there's the ban on Gul'dan. And now, what are you getting rid of your Ukraine? Now, keep in mind, Scope is playing a ton of Tyrael, and this could be another map where he plays Tyrael with his setup. We've seen Phoenix already played without Diablo, but if you have that Lightning Breath and you follow up with a good salvo, that's pretty good for you too. It's Tracer. Okay, Tracer eliminated now for the 2nd time. I honestly want to see what the answer is from Germany, because at this point, things are just not working well for them. They have some problems in the late game in particular, and the early game oftentimes they get the kills in pretty quickly and they make good moves, but then they start to get a bit greedy and things fall apart towards the end. So there's Leoric and Li Ming. Okay, so trying to play around the regeneration globes a lot, most likely, with Li Ming, with Diablo, trying to also maybe set up that entomb so that Li Ming gets those shots in. If they land those against Tyrande, that would be fantastic for them. Against Hanzo, of course, even better if you can lock him down. But Ukraine, for the offlane, they have a lot of options here. We still have Blaze available. You can go into your Thrall if you want to. I mean, we've seen Alarak a couple of times on this map as well. And there's Jaina, Thrall. A little bit more on the squishy end this time. But also the lockdown through Johanna, suck everybody into the Blizzard, lock them down with Thrall and Tyrande, and Jaina delivers the rest, especially if there's going to be a Ring of Frost play for them. Germany with the last pick, and they need their damage, and there's Jimmy. Pretty quick draft from them. Like, it's actually a solid draft. It's like a solid draft. There's nothing fancy around it. It's very straightforward. Germany needs a victory here, and we're going to find out together if they can pull that off, or if Ukraine is shutting them down completely and walk away with a 3-0 victory here at the Nexus contest. Back in the game, we have map number 3, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Ukraine to the left with Witness on Hanzo, Denado on Johanna, Valamax on Jaina, Shamsik on Tyrande, and Candlelight on Thrall. And to the right side, the Germans, and they really need to win this one. Loranas plays Diablo, Clayton currently on Reyna, we have Blank on Leoric, Phil on Malfurion again, and Scope on Li Ming actually. So they switched a little bit when it comes to the offlane. Scope now playing one of the damage dealers. And this is Germany's last chance. They need to try and take this game here if they want to have an opportunity to move towards the semi-finals. They actually need to win 3 in a row. Not going to be easy by any means, but they're at least going to try. Battlenet still has a few hiccups here today. We just had one of the players also talking a bit about how he's experiencing lags. And, well, as long as it's only a couple of occasional hiccups, I think we're still going to be fine here. But as we're having the fight in the middle, a bit of a brawl, we're seeing the focus on the Li Ming, and that might be a kill, and it is! Thrall takes the final blow in, and Li Ming eliminated. Great kill here by Ukraine. Not the start you want to have when you're already down 2 maps in the best of 5 series. Definitely not. Death timers, of course, are still pretty low, and damn, they are still going straight for Reyna here. Yeah, it's a pretty nice setup. If you land those stuns with Tyrande whenever Johanna moves in with a Condemn, then you are in for a lot of trouble. Then again, when you're looking towards Germany, they have a pretty aggressive setup too whenever Diablo gets that engage, and the more souls he gets, the better for him. Didn't go into Devil's Due, by the way. Soul Shield instead for him, so full spell armor. definitely gonna help him to survive through Jaina's damage. No doubt about that. Blank at the bot lane was eating a lot of damage with that rotation that came his way too. So, yeah, insane pressure from the get-go, right from the start from Ukraine. They're now taking also their camp with 2 heroes missing. Germany sniffed it out pretty easily and started to take their own camp on the other side of the map too. So the two will now collide in the mid lane. Always have to watch out for a move of your opponent to the bottom of the map to claim those siege giants, but for the time being at least they're totally fine here. But this is starting to get a bit rough already. Germany is now in a position where they're also behind in gems that were turned in. 18 already delivered by Ukraine. And in terms of builds here, the level 4 is going to give us a bit more of an idea of what we can expect here. Especially with Thrall, it's going to be interesting if he goes into the Frostwolf pack. And I kind of expect it right now, simply because Diablo is going to be a beast. No, Mana Tide for him this time. With Diablo at the front, not going for the Alpha Wolf on level 16 apparently. Condemn now with a fast engage. Denado moving in. A great game so far. They're going for Diablo. And, well, that might be a bit of a turnaround moment here. There's the root on the ground and the extra damage on Johanna. Well played by Phil here, expecting the Iron Skin to be used, so he didn't really follow up immediately onto Diablo. Let Johanna use the Iron Skin and then use the root after that expired. So pretty decent move by him. Didn't lead to a kill, but it allowed Reyna to get some extra damage in and force her back and the heals out as well. So the rotations are there still. A bit of a bait there by Blank. Those 4 are going to be doing fine. And they're still going for it. They're not afraid at all. They're just sitting there saying like, yeah, we can still go. And now that the rotation comes in, they're saying like, alright, we have still vision on you. Now that you're actually double checking what's happening down there, maybe we should be a bit more careful with this. Candlelight is about to complete his quest's talent, by the way. He's sitting at 18 already. And they're making another move for the Siege Giants. Actually, it's Germany who's taking it here. Unbeknownst to the blue team. Rotation came there a bit late, so Germany takes the Giants for now. Again, the heavy pressure in the mid lane is something to watch out for. Li Ming is still at the top and has now, after going into Power Hungry, also taken dominance. So really playing strongly around those globes. Battle down to the bottom, where Candlelight is starting to move in, but the Siege Giants so far are still being protected. Leoric needs to move out though, and... ooh, that could have been a kill. Wow. Witness, that was not simple geometry that we saw there. That was a B- at best. Actually, I would rather go for a C, considering that he didn't even hit a single one of those. But if he lands everything, then I think Leoric falls right there. But yeah, we're currently having, for both of them, again, the opportunity to turn in. And Germany has at least delivered a few. So they're not that far behind anymore when it comes to turn-in potential. But there's the level 7 talents for Ukraine. And Germany, they're playing a bit more hesitant. They YOLO'd it quite a bit in Game 1 in particular, but also had a couple of very aggressive moments on Towers of Doom. Didn't work out for them. Now they're playing this a bit more timid. But they need to eventually find an engage. And talking engage, Li Ming gets engaged upon, and wow, actually survives this. Phil with a save right there. But one auto attack was all that was needed there to take Scope down. So this is starting to get really close. Ukraine really impresses me. That was much better from Hanzo. That was nearly a kill against her. Hanzo himself finding himself a little bit far out, but damn. Red Web Weavers, by the way. During all of this, we had Leoric able to turn in, so that's a big plus for them. They can try and make a play around that. But Scope is really walking a thin line with his engages. But Germany is so far still looking kind of decent. What I really like about Ukraine is that they are able to get these snap engages. The coordination of the team seems to be absolutely spot on. They're doing really well around that. The call is made, everybody collapses on the target, and they always just exude this threat level that you have to respect. And Germany, whenever they don't, loses heroes. But now the Web Weavers, that's the big one. Can they get a few kills here? Oh well, drop a few of the structures, get some walls down, maybe get a kill with it too. That would of course be fantastic. They drop the wall at the bot lane. It's already a big one. Even a little bit more is going to be delivered here. Mid lane was so far at least protected and defended. But up at the top, one of the towers is down. Second one will soon fall too. So Germany still with a bit of damage. We can't really get a fort yet, but they just don't have the wave clear to really threaten that this early in the game. Once the Web Weavers scale, it's a bit of a different story, but at least they're opening up the walls here. They also have now an open shot to take down the bottom fountain. Talking about taking things down, Clayton is about to be taken out. Or is he actually able to walk away from this one? Oh, the Hanzo damage! Hanzo with a kill, but Scope lands the entire combo and drops him low. But Clayton is still eliminated. Finds himself on the wrong end of that battle. Candlelight gets interrupted once, but Leoric is in trouble. Does the Wolf come through? Nah, cooldown still. Scope was there and was looking to see if he can maybe help out. But it's getting iffy. It's really getting dangerous. Level 10s are nearly there for Ukraine, and Germany needs to make sure that they're delaying the Webweaver just by a bit. Ring of Frost is there, so is the Blessed Shield. It's an insane combo again. I mean, just look at this shit. Yep, here we start. Exactly that. Exactly that. Hanzo arrow into Ring of Frost, didn't even need the Blessed Shield there. Yes, it's burning 2 big cooldowns, but who cares? Your opponent doesn't even have level 10. You get the kills in, and that helps you to get that turn in. We're gonna have with the Webweavers coming down now, but Germany at least was able to delay it long enough so that they have their own heroics. And this time it is Tranquility. We're not seeing any plays around the Twilight Dream attempt. Tranquility being used. We have at the same time, of course, the Lightning Breath and also the Entomb on Leoric's side. But now the Webweavers are going to come down, and Germany is already a level behind. 3 kills against 0. That was just such a setup. And again, think about the arrow later connecting, the Blessed Shield being used, and then the ring being dropped on top of it again. It's just going to be super scary to deal with all of that. Leoric will try and defend the bot lane. The rest of the team is most of focusing towards the top and middle, where we now have the camp moving in too. I mean, as if it wasn't bad enough already that you have to deal with the Webweavers, it's perfectly timed with the camp, the mercenary camp here. And that just means that we're having now the spell aura on them. This is a great setup. Ukraine, I'm a fan. They're playing so well here. In the group, they lost to Russia, but still, they are getting better, as you can see here. This is them improving immensely when you compare their performance in the group stage to this. And even in the group stage, it didn't look bad. There comes the attempt to go for the Ring of Frost again. They get only one. Malfurion has the Tranquility out. Can they get a kill? The slows are there, but there's just not enough damage to put anyone under pressure. Thrall, never really part of this, didn't use the Earthquake. Everything else was used there already. Mid lane so far defended. Blank making the move down to the bottom. He needs to be cautious because he's on 28 gems right now. He can't fall. There's very little that we have in terms of heroic abilities. Johanna getting bodied a bit after the root. Laranas dies on Diablo. Scope wasn't there yet, and now Clayton might fall again, and indeed he does. 5 kills against 0. Ukraine is just way ahead of Germany here. The entire series so far, an absolute blast for every Ukrainian fan. But Germany is struggling heavily. They had an easy group stage and made it into the round of 8, but they've definitely found their master now. They have to somehow come back into this, and it's not looking like it's going to happen anytime soon. Another Webweaver wave is going to come into play by the blue team. Ukraine will now try and drop the fort in the middle, and that should be an easy picking for them considering how low it is. And let's not forget that they have not only the late-in levels, they also have the talent advantage now. So we're having that on top of everything else. So the mid fort is going to fall. Question is more so, are they going to be able to take down the top 2? And look at Jaina. She has the cool already. If we see a Blessed Shield on Arrow, there's going to be an immediate Ring of Frost. That's a pretty decent setup here. They're trying to go for Hanzo. The Ring of Frost. The kill against Hanzo. And yes, he goes down, but Clayton has fallen too. And Diablo dies. It's a 2-for-1 trade, and that might not be the end of it. Li Ming goes in, looks for the kill, tries to bunny hop around with the Calamity, but he doesn't get the reset. Witness survives, and then Li Ming falls. Scope just a bit too optimistic here. If he gets the kill against Hanzo, it's a different story. Then he just can get one Calamity in after another, and he might be able to kill multiple ones of them. But with him not getting that particular kill, there was no hope. Now the bot lane has to be defended. Keep at the top. Gonna be attacked by the Webweavers soon. Every single fort has fallen. It's a nightmare. For Germany, this is an absolute nightmare. They're trying, but it's just not working. Their synergy is not on the same level. They're just being outclassed here, let's be honest about it. A 2-level lead for Ukraine. 8 kills against 1. Let's take a quick look at the damage output here too. I mean, Leoric is currently the top damage in the team with all the drains that he got in over time. But yeah, Hanzo is just playing this extremely well. They're checking at the top because they are already afraid that the boss might be taken too. But unless they get some good engages in the next few fights, I just don't see Germany coming back into this. They need to have a decent combo setup. They need at some point to be able to get that kill early, but I just love how safe Ukraine is playing this. Think about how far ahead they are. They're so far ahead and they're not greeting at all. They're just like sitting there, they're just rotating, they're sitting in bushes, they're trying to set up a couple of traps, they're playing around the turn-in point, they're trying to watch out to make sure that Germany doesn't get an easy turn-in. But they're actually turning in again. Whoa. Germany is now going to face the third Web Weaver wave. They're actually forcing the fight now. They know that 116 is in the hands of their opponent. They're going to have a problem. Yep, there comes the kill. The ring didn't even hit, but they still take down Diablo and Reina. And this is the 16 talent with a Web Weaver. Germany is getting just pummeled into the ground here. This is brutal. 10 kills against 1. I mean, already earlier today when we saw France go up against the UK, that wasn't quite what we expected here, but this is just adding on top of it too. They're starting to move in on the keep. Is anyone doubting that this one is going to fall? I mean, what are you going to do to save that? The question is, can you go core at this point? 16 talents, Web Weavers in. If not core, then you go boss after this is over. They're trying to make the play for double keep. And that's an easy decision right there. The question for Germany is just like, what do you defend first? There's trouble brewing everywhere. The Web Weavers are already defeated in the mid lane though, so they can't get the keep completely. Leoric is still at the bottom of the map, trying to make sure that they're not losing too much there either. But yeah, the poke is just still continuing. They're poking. They have catapults on the lane. Catapults, massive lead in stats through the level lead, and then on top of it too, they are running the talent advantage, so can just poke against that. That's what they're doing here. Trying to see if they can maybe with Jaina get another Blizzard on top of that. Germany is now trying to set up that defense, but as long as Leoric isn't there, you can't drop the Entomb and trap them. So it's just continuous poke from a distance. Here comes the Blizzard, and that is it. That's good. Oh, actually, not quite. But Thrall, he should have an easy time. And yeah, there he goes. Gets the Chain Lightning in, and it bounces in. They attempt to turn in down here. Leo is moving away. If they find Leo and he loses to 55, yeah, he's gonna die. This is it. This is it right there. 55 gems are gone. And that was pretty much most of the gems that they had. Germany is getting completely annihilated by Ukraine. This is gonna be, I mean, it's a 2-0 already, but in this game right now, it was 1 turn in for Germany. We had 3 already for Ukraine. They are working on the 3rd now. And this is just an absolute disaster. The core under attack by Catapult, so they have to defend this too. 16 talents, finally in the hands of Germany. They have to throw a Hail Mary here. It's the only chance to come back into this. Try and force a fight on even talents at some point and just try and win the battle. If you can make that happen, you can go boss. You can try and get at least a few forts, close the gap in experience slowly and steadily. But Ukraine isn't even afraid. They're saying like, well, if you want to fight, let's do it. Like, look at how well we are coordinating this right now. We are botting you every single time we're exchanging blows. What are you going to do? Try and kill us here? Well, good luck with that. They're willing to take the fight, and Germany has to do it right now. They go for Witness. Here comes the Ring of Frost, and they're burning Hanzo to a crisp, but at least they're trying to, but it's not happening. And Li Ming is getting obliterated. Hanzo making the play. Scope just not able to get the damage in. Laranas falls. That's kill number 12 and 13. They're trying to go for Leoric too, and Blank, yeah, he's ghosting around here, but he's not going to make it either. Blank about to fall. They go for Clayton, and this is just a disaster. 3-level advantage. Where is your German efficiency now? It's all gone. It's a full 5-man team wipe as Ukraine goes for the victory. And they take a 3-0 over Germany. Fantastic play by the blue team and a well-deserved victory. Congratulations. Ukraine move towards the semifinals.